NVIDIA just hit the reset button on the most anticipated GPU roadmap in a decade. While the world was waiting for Blackwell to settle in, Jensen Huang unveiled the Vera Rubin R200 architecture, and it is a massive departure from everything we thought we knew. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a leap into a new era of compute. But behind the hype, there's a bombshell report that's shaking the industry to its core regarding the future of consumer gaming hardware. The engineering here is genuinely brilliant, but the business side? That's where things get wild. We are looking at a fundamental shift in how silicon is allocated globally. The headline everyone is talking about is the reported cancellation of RTX 5000 series production. Why? Because we are currently facing a global HBM4 RAM crisis that's forcing NVIDIA to make a difficult choice. HBM4 is the lifeblood of high-end AI, and right now, there simply isn't enough of it to go around. To build the Rubin R200, NVIDIA needs every single stock of this ultra-fast memory they can get their hands on. This means the gaming cards we are expecting might be taking a back seat to something much bigger. NVIDIA is pivoting their entire supply chain toward the data center, and the scale of this move is unprecedented. Named after the legendary astronomer Vera Rubin, this new architecture is designed to map the dark matter of data. It represents a total rethink of how a GPU interacts with memory and the CPU. The R200 isn't just a chip, it's a system-on-chip ecosystem. It's built to handle models that are orders of magnitude larger than what we have today, and the specs are frankly hard to believe. But to understand why NVIDIA is willing to bet the house on this, we need to look at the performance leap. We're talking about a jump that makes previous generations look like toys. The industry is calling this the Great Reallocation. Every major tech giant is fighting for a piece of the Rubin pie, and the waitlists are already stretching into years. This isn't just about being faster, it's about being the first to reach a new level of intelligence. The Rubin architecture is the engine for the next decade of AI development. But as we'll see, this power comes with a technical complexity that pushed NVIDIA's engineers to the absolute limit. And that's where the story gets even more interesting. So, what exactly is under the hood? How do you get 50 petaflops out of a single architecture? It starts with a radical new way of looking at precision. By moving to FP4 precision, NVIDIA has found a way to pack more math into the same amount of silicon. It's a clever trick that yields massive dividends in speed. But that's just the beginning. To keep that math engine fed, they needed a memory system that could keep up. And that's where those 288GB HBM4 stocks come in. Let's talk about that 50 petaflop number. To put that in perspective, that's 50 quadrillion floating point operations every single second. It is a staggering amount of raw power. The secret sauce is FP4, a 4-bit floating point format. By reducing the precision of each calculation, NVIDIA can perform 4 times as many operations compared to older standards without losing the accuracy needed for AI inference. It's a masterclass in engineering efficiency. They aren't just making the engine bigger, they're making the fuel burn hotter and faster than ever before. But raw speed is useless if you can't get data to the processor fast enough. That's why the 288GB of HBM4 memory is so critical. This is the first time we've seen this level of density on a single package. We are looking at memory bandwidth that exceeds several terabytes per second. It's like replacing a garden hose with a massive industrial water main. The data just flows. This massive memory pool allows the Rubin architecture to hold entire large language models directly on the chip, eliminating the slow trip to system RAM and back. Then there's the Vera CPU. This is an 88-core ARM-based monster designed to sit right next to the GPU. It's the successor to the Grace CPU, and it's built for one thing: orchestration. Most people think of NVIDIA as just a GPU company, but the Vera CPU is a statement. It handles the complex logic and data movement that keeps the GPU cores from idling. The tight integration between Vera and Rubin through NVLink 6 means they share memory and power more efficiently than any PCIe-based system ever could. However, building something this powerful creates a massive problem: heat. Cooling a 50 petaflop system requires engineering that looks more like a power plant than a computer. Skeptics point out that the power draw for these racks is becoming a limiting factor. We are reaching the point where data centers need their own dedicated power substations just to stay online. But NVIDIA's answer is that the efficiency per watt is actually higher than ever. You're getting more intelligence for every electron you spend. It's a fascinating trade-off. So we have the math, the memory, and the management. But what does NVIDIA actually want to do with all this power? They have a very specific vision for the future of the global economy. They aren't just selling chips anymore. They are selling the infrastructure for what Jensen calls token factories. And to understand that, we need to look at the big picture. The shift from pixels to tokens is the most important transition in the history of the company, and it's about to change everything about how we interact with technology. What is a token factory? Think of it like a traditional factory, but instead of cars or steel, it produces intelligence. Every word, every line of code, every image generated by AI is a token. In the Rubin era, compute becomes a utility, like electricity. You don't buy a GPU to play a game, you access a token factory to solve a problem. It's a fundamental shift in value. This is why NVIDIA is prioritizing the R200 over the RTX 5000. The demand for tokens is exponential, while the demand for traditional gaming frames is merely linear.
But what does this mean for the average consumer? If the reports are true and the RTX 5000 is delayed or limited, we might be looking at a period where high-end gaming hardware is harder to find than ever. The HBM4 shortage isn't just a supply chain hiccup, it's a structural bottleneck. Until the RAM manufacturers can catch up, the most powerful silicon will go where the ROI is highest, the AI cloud. It's a tough pill for gamers to swallow, but from a business perspective, it's a move that makes perfect sense. NVIDIA is following the path to becoming the most valuable company on Earth.
Competitors like AMD and Intel aren't sitting still, though. They are racing to build their own HBM4-based architectures, hoping to fill the gap that NVIDIA is leaving in the market. This competition is fascinating because it's driving innovation at a pace we've never seen. We are seeing 5 years of engineering progress compressed into 18 months. The result will be a world where compute is more powerful and more accessible than ever, even if the way we get it is changing. The Rubin R200 is just the first shot in this new war. So here is what I think this really means. We are witnessing the birth of a new kind of infrastructure. Just as the 20th century was built on oil and steel, the 21st will be built on tokens and tensors. The Vera Rubin architecture is the blueprint for that future. It's a machine built to process the complexity of the world in real time, and its impact will be felt in every industry, from medicine to finance. The engineering is genuinely one of the most impressive feats I've ever seen. They've managed to turn a memory crisis into a strategic masterstroke. As we look forward, the question isn't just how fast these chips can go, but what we will choose to build with them. The Rubin era is here, and the possibilities are genuinely endless. Whether you're a gamer waiting for your next upgrade or a researcher training the next big model, the world of compute has just changed forever, and this is just the beginning. The engineering of the R200 is a testament to what happens when you stop looking at what's possible and start looking at what's necessary. It's a wild ride, and I can't wait to see where it goes next.